Hello,
Uh,
good evening. Welcome to Freewheeling Fridays 2022 edition.
After a really long time.
Indeed, indeed. But there's been a good reason why we've been slacking a little bit on freewheeling. Right? I think we're trying to set up your studio. We're trying to figure out your studio setup also, right? Finally, we have the lights and everything ready. I think we just need to work on the internet a little bit.
Oh my God. They still have to work in the new year? Oh,
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
bad.
yeah. It still looks blurry to me. I'm not sure. Am I looking blurry to you as well, or is it okay?
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine as usual. Yeah.
All right. Bhargavi is busy working right now. She's talking to a founder as we speak. So she'll join us right after this. So what's happening?
What's happening, man? The world's blurry. I can clearly see. My video is still blurry. I don't know what. Let me
Now
try.
it's good. Now it's good.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So I think one thing new right now is that we're also live on LinkedIn, right? So
Yeah.
starting from this
This, it's on
event,
our profile, right? I saw that. It's on our profile. You
yeah,
want to?
it's on Java profile now. Earlier, we streamed it on your profile.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was finally able to get around that issue and putting stuff out from
And
Java's profile.
this is like significant, na? Now we have a channel which you should use it even better, right? Where we can stream across. Given that Clubhouse has died its own slow death.
Yeah, 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 exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. And maybe we should also do some live pitching sessions.
yeah. I think now we should be able to do a lot more. Yeah. Let me switch the network, Karthik. Just hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it better?
It's still the same.
Okay. Let's continue. There's no point in trying to switch the
Yeah,
network.
yeah. Maybe it's a laptop. I think
Or the camera, I have
correct.
no idea. Yes. Uh,
It's
no worries.
it's a decade old laptop, right?
No, it's not a decade old. It's
Ah.
half a decade.
just some 2 3 years short of a decade.
Yeah. Possibly.
2016. So yeah, half a decade. Yeah, it's showing its age.
True. Yeah, everything gets old. Yeah, including us. So what's been happening, Karthik? When was the last we did freewheeling? A quarter ago?
It's at least a couple of months ago. We didn't do anything in December, or maybe we have done just one in December. Or, around the holiday season, we've done one.
Yeah. Are people even following us anymore? Any people, audience on this live stream, folks? You could always message us on the side. Yeah.
We do. I think we have some regular followers who are doing it. Hopefully they'll continue to do
Yeah.
so.
I think we are.
But I think we just need to keep up with the regular
Yeah, we are
uh,
irregular. Yeah, that's the
postings.
problem.
Yeah,
We are
yeah,
regularly irregular. That's the problem. Okay,
exactly.
audience. We'll try and promise to do our freewheeling sessions so that as regular as possible. Yeah, or regularly. Let's try. 52 episodes this year. We can't do anyway. We are already in week four of
You
January.
never know. Maybe we can do
Two.
uh, more during the week.
I think so. Maybe we should move this from being a Friday session to Thursday session. Hey, Sumant. If you have any questions, feel free to type it in. Yeah, and if you want to ask, Karthik, what are we going to talk today about? I think the world has changed. Since last year.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? We are back to square one, square two, square three. the
Hopefully not. We've been. I just watched the horrific news that you shared this afternoon. Honestly, but let me just welcome Sumant also, right? Hey Sumant, Thanks for joining us, man. Any questions, feel free to just type it in, we'll get to you. The idea for this session that we do is, to interact with people like you, right? Who are interested in startups or to speak about anything about startups in general. So that's about it. But going back to what you're talking about, right? I think it's just a little scary, or maybe we should not be scary. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we are better prepared right now to deal with any eventuality than we were a couple of years ago.
Yeah, yeah. I think I am like even more prepared. Like I've had like 2 rounds of COVID and two doses of the vaccine, and I think
You,
I'm
I
almost
think
like at superhuman COVID strengths, Karthik. Unless the strain can escape, all that I have in my body now.
you're like the human incubus of viral plague.
Yeah.
Every new strain that comes, you give it a home in
Yeah,
your body.
yeah. I'm like a lot more accommodating, as a planet.
Yeah. All right. We already have some questions popping in.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
I have a question from Sajid. Hey, Sajid, how's it going? Thanks for joining us, man. Oh, you want to tackle that? Would love
Oh,
to
we'd
hear
love to
about.
hear about Web3 startups you're assessing or already funded. I think we've not funded any guys, but we've been looking at Sajid, a bunch of them. I just saw a tweet, just before coming to this show, that there are 48 startups who are tackling on ramp in India. Okay, 48. That means something's wrong with our on ramp. So we've seen a few in the on ramp space, but we've seen a bunch of them in the NFT space. But I think it's too tried, and can't create. How many more marketplaces can come up, right? You can have Amazon, Flipkart. You can't keep having hundreds of marketplaces, right? Unless there is a reason for it, a verticalization. I think it's too early, right? Currently. So I think marketplaces for NFTs, I think it's not immediate. Maybe in the future again. Uh, what I actually have been looking for in the Web3 cases, can it solve some real world use cases using Web3 technologies, which is basically blockchain and the likes of the wallets and other stuff, right? But I think I have not come across yet, something which really would solve, in a very strong use case so far. Actually, that's the honest answer on Web3 startups. But I also don't expect that suddenly you'll have a use case that will get solved correctly, because I think evolution will happen, because there'll be some fun, some entertainment, some gaming, all these stuff will keep happening, and suddenly somebody will discover this is how you solve a major use case. So I think we'll keep our eyes and ears open to ideas that's happening, and we will keep an eye out for what's happening on Web3. But I also sense some of the Web2 startups will also slowly pivot wherever required into Web3 world. That way, right? I think it's like a transition that lots of companies did to digital, right? It's a similar kind of a transition that might happen. It'll get started with Web3 only, but eventually all of them will have to slowly move. If that is a dominant era, if at all it becomes a dominant era, which I have my own doubts at this point in time, but I am like, good to see that. Yeah.
All right. So we just have more people joining in. Some anonymous LinkedIn user. Hi. Hello. How are you?
Yes.
Then we
Oh,
have another LinkedIn user putting up an interesting question. Would love to know more about your interest in HR tech. We built a product around HR and ESOP and cap table management.
you should take a shot at that, Karthik. Yeah.
Look, man, we've been evaluating quite a few HR tech companies, and especially in this ESOP and cap table management space, we've seen some companies, right? Um, to be honest with you, what we are looking for is something unique and defensible, right? Is that something that you can build in this business? And if you can, right, then yeah, definitely would love to consider the startup. You can reach us at hello@javacapital.co. It's not .com, it's .co. I'll So please do send us your deck, and one of us will review it and get back to you. But broadly speaking, we are interested in the HR tech space. In fact, we recently evaluated quite a few HR tech companies, although we haven't really made an investment eventually in those companies. Nonetheless, we're still tracking some companies, right? So I'll just put up our email on the screen as well, so that you can always email us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we should put our email IDs there. Hey, thanks for those questions, guys. Please keep it coming. We hope to answer as many questions as time permits, and also we'll keep on generally discussing the startup ecosystem. Thanks, Manish, for asking that question. Do write to us at hello@javacapital.co. Yeah.
Okay, we've got one more question jumping in. This time about the stage of the company, right? Would you consider a company with a particular ARR or not, right? So I'm just gonna put that
I think this is the
question
same.
up.
Yeah, Karthik, this is the same user, Karthik. I think. Uh,
We don't know, it just says LinkedIn
uh,
user.
I saw it on LinkedIn. It's coming from the same user, Manish.
Okay, okay.
I would suggest Manish to write to us. I think this is good numbers. Please do write to us, Manish, and we will take it up. Yeah, thank you. So Karthik, with that, right? Hopefully, we get some more questions coming our way. What's been like, uh, playing in the news for the last couple of weeks, right? We ended 48, 49 unicorns last year. Is that correct? Or 50 unicorns? Short
48, I believe. I think this year we've already had a couple more,
five.
right?
Five. I
Five.
think, yeah, I've heard like we have got like five unicorns already in like less than 5 weeks. So this year, I think we'll breach the 52 unicorns, which is like last year's target I was telling. Maybe this year we'll breach that, 52 unicorns in a year. But I think there's another story that's coming up, right? The markets have fallen. The tech markets in the US have got hit, and the Indian markets have also started falling. And all the tech IPOs, right, have gone below their IPO pricings, or 50% from the peak pricings almost. With this, right, do you think we'll get to 52 unicorns this year?
I think the momentum will continue for at least the first half of the year. I do believe that things are going to get a little bit tricky somewhere in the middle of the year. I think the markets are already spooked because of the Federal Reserve, hinting at rate hikes, right? It will
Hmm.
definitely have some sort of a trickle down effect of that on our market. Um, all right. So yeah, so I think we'll see that happen this year, right? But having said that, the venture capital funds, especially in the early stage and the mid growth stage, are flush with capital, so we'll see plenty of activity there. But we may potentially see a slowdown of the number of unicorns this year. At least that was my prediction last year, and I'm still sticking to that. The other factor that could influence this, is potentially the budget that is going to come up, right? And I'll tell you why this is a factor, right?
Hmm.
If the finance minister, feels kind enough to treat unlisted, on a par with listed equity,
Hmm.
right? And I think that will go a long way. And also, if there is some parity that can be brought on the tax regime, right, that will be a clear shot in the arm as well. So that could also have some impact on more
But
encouraging more entrepreneurs and
I think that we do talk to the FM in every revealing show.
everything really.
Yeah, this is
It's always the
freewheeling.
same submission.
Yeah, we do same submissions in every freewheeling session to the FM, saying please bring unlisted equity on parity with listed equity on capital gains. We can do that this time also, but I doubt the FM is listening to us. Okay, or even if it's listening, not going to hear us, right? I doubt the parity is going to come this time because I don't think there's a strong representation for that yet. frankly.
So the Prime Minister recently met representatives of startup ecosystem, right? I hope they must have, at least they did
I
push on
think they
it.
would have met the startups, right? They wouldn't have met the investors. But I'll tell you one interesting story on the investors now, Karthik. Now the Shark Tank, right? I think you should bring that up, right? Shark Tank, right? Suddenly opened all of India's eyes, or like let's say India's upper middle class, watching Shark Tank. Oh man, this is also a way to make money now. Or invest in
Mm.
entrepreneurs. Suddenly, people have got an idea what is entrepreneur. I'll tell you the reason why, right? Like personal anecdote. A friend of mine from Delhi, he just called up, because I've explained what I do as my job multiple times. He's an officer in the government. He never, took it very seriously. He said, I'm just doing something, right? And
Yeah.
so he called up after the Shark Tank episodes happening and he said, this is what you do. I said, yeah, that's what I do, but not like Shark Tank type, but I do it pretty much similar kind of job, but I do it very little differently. So suddenly,
Hmm.
he just got all excited. Oh, this is interesting and all that stuff, right? So basically, Shark Tank, right, will take entrepreneurship and also investing, to the next level, and hopefully, that will gather some momentum and pace, and there'll be some frauds and Ponzi schemes, and then eventually, hopefully, the FM will listen. Oh, our FM is also here. Yeah. So
Sorry,
hopefully,
guys. VC life had to
yeah.
fight for a deal.
But you're appearing all blurry. I don't know why. Anyway,
Yeah, even I don't know why.
camera.
And you are not blurry.
Yeah.
For a change.
For a change, I have this new light. I can't show off. That's the problem. But I can't
No,
show
no, we
off.
already see it in your reflection.
Yeah,
But
awesome.
Bhargavi, you're joining us at the right time, right? I think there is a question. I think you're probably best suited to answer that question, Bhargavi, on the screen from Kushiram Karian. All right. So do you want to jump right in?
Sure, sure. I'm just reading the question. So, cross-border e-commerce marketplace, interesting. So, B2B and B2C. Okay. Happy to share, have a look at your deck and talk to you if we find it interesting. And but in general, right? I think especially I still think that there is something to be solved in cross border B2B especially, because I know a couple of companies which tried to do something there, and nobody has cracked it yet. Even yesterday I was talking to a celebrity who has built a brand, and still the pain of importing cosmetics or any other product into India is still there, right? It's still intense. People, that is actually becoming a moat. If you have figured it out and if you have registered everything to bring into India, that's becoming a moat. And that is true for exporting from India to outside India as well. So that way, I think it is interesting. If you have shared it couple of months back, and if we have not taken it forward, which means probably at that time we probably felt it's not in line with our interest area, or there could be a lot of reasons. Why don't you drop us a line again? Happy to have a look at it again and give you specific feedback. Right, happy to do that.
Yeah, it's also possible, Kushiram, that we haven't really gotten to your email, which reflects very poorly on us. Hopefully not. But we were just a little crazy busy the last couple of months, Kushiram. But it'll help if you can just bounce it back up again on the top of our inbox, right? So one of us will definitely get back to you.
Okay, that is out of the way.
All right. So Bhargavi, can you guys also see the chat window on the side, or
Yes.
you don't get that view? You can get the view, right? Okay. All right. So somebody keep an eye on that. We uh, we have been quite slow to make announcements in our investments for some time, right? Um, Okay,
Oh, we have
good.
replied. We have replied.
We replied, Kushiram, thank you so much. But yeah, I think since Bhargavi said she's happy to take a look, please feel free to touch base again, right? Um, yeah, so going back to the investment announcements, right? So what's happening, guys? Why people may misconstrue that we're not investing anymore? Is that the fact? Is that true?
Oh no, actually we've done. I think in a lot of the numbers. I just wish I could put out the numbers. I think we've done e-plane recently. I think that we've not brought up Karthik. We should maybe pull up an article saying that follow on that happened.
Correct.
That was announced recently. I think that's one public announcement we've seen. We also have a guest today, Karthik. Right? We have a guest, right?
That's right. Yes, we will have a guest who is expected to join any moment
Yeah,
now.
an announcement link of
Oh,
that. I think
wow.
we should bring that up. And
That's a surprise to me as well.
yeah, we have a guest. Yeah, and actually, I expect one more announcement in the first second week of February. First US deal that we've done through Java Capital. You guys should all be pumped up when we get that announcement. It'll be our first direct investment in US.
I
Uh,
just want to qualify it, right? It's not the first US company we have invested in. It is the first investment we have done through Java's US vehicle.
yeah.
So
Got it.
that's why we are very excited about
Yeah.
it.
And the other thing is we've had like four companies going into YC, and all four was invested before it went to YC. You know, it's like you if you want to get into YC, right? You should get funded from us, and then your chances or odds go up significantly. That's the uh, adage, yeah. Okay, Karthik, you want
So
to?
what you're saying is it's if it's a Java company, then the likelihood of it becoming a YC
Yeah,
company is
yeah. We
higher.
have like we have like 15, 16 companies, and we have like four companies. So I mean, if somebody thinks YC is useful and interesting for them, so
There
please.
is a 25% chance you will get
Uh,
into IC
yeah,
after.
there's a 25% chance. You get money from Java, then you get it there. Yeah, actually more because one company we had to drop the term sheet for whatever reasons. Otherwise, it would have been 5 out of 15. That's like a massive percentage, right? That's like almost 33%,
Yeah.
right? I mean, even though I don't care much or about YC. Okay, yeah,
All right. So okay, Vinod, I think I'm ready to make the announcement of one of the investments that we have made recently, right? Which is Bharatex. So all of you guys listening to us right now on LinkedIn or YouTube, right, or even Twitter, please do reach out to us. It's hello@javacapital.co. And when you reach out, right, good things can potentially happen. Bharatex is one such company, which we funded actually last year, but we made the announcement recently because the company has decided to stay stealthy a little bit longer, right? And I'm also very excited to share that Bharatex has come to our email inbox rather than through direct introductions from our VC partners or others in the ecosystem, right? So that way, this is a very interesting company for us to evaluate and invest in. One, and this is also very interesting because the team, when we invested, they were still in college and probably the youngest team in our portfolio companies, right? And they've already accomplished quite a bit. And I'm super excited today that the founder of the company, Mehul, is joining us. All right. Hey, Mehul.
Hey,
Hey
Mehul.
guys,
Hi.
Mehul, you should stand up, man, once and show full frame.
Why are you ragging him?
No, because whenever I meet him, right, I'm just surprised by the height that because for the first time when we met and funded, and then when you meet him for the first time, right, you are suddenly looking up like this, Mehul. So Yeah.
Well, somewhere you gotta be bigger, no?
I wish on the multiples, right? When exit multiples, yeah. Okay,
Definitely.
great, Mehul. Finally, good to have you. We've not been running the show, without because we couldn't get you. You know, finally, Karthik said today is the day Mehul was coming, and we have to run the show. I said, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And so we
No, no.
made this
To
show.
be honest, Vinod, I sprung it on Mehul just 5 minutes before. Okay, but he was kind enough to oblige. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
so
Yeah.
thanks a lot, man. Thanks for really showing up.
And
Oh, by the way,
I'm actually
this
surprised, still appropriately dressed. Awesome. See?
So I am the one who dressed up purposely. Is the other two beings who like to roam in pieces in
I
parties.
think, Karthik, I think one thing I have to announce to the world is, yeah, right. We funded Bharatex when they were in college. They had not written their final exams yet. The entire team, I think that is the kind of potential bets that we are willing to take. If we find the market and the founder is interesting. I'm doing some plug here, Mehul. Don't worry, okay?
No, well deserved plug though, right? Like, to anybody listening, right? Java was the first, professional VC firm who really, like, uh, showed us, what the meaning of conviction is, right? Like, and we're really, really grateful for that. Like, truly, I still remember walking out of the second call we had with all three partners, and I told to Isan, my co-founder, like, bhai nahi hone wala.
Why?
the I told this story later down the line to Bhargavi. So like Bhargavi was asking some questions, and you told me that Bhargavi is in finance and all that. So I was like, she's gonna be the one who's gonna judge us, in the next call. And that was the first time we were talking with her. So that tone, like she's a very sharp tone, like. We thought that so like, what are these students talking? But then eventually afterwards, okay, that those were like okay kind of things rather than kind of responses.
I think Bhargavi, we can use her for scaring founders. I didn't know that.
No. So no. So the best negotiator in the team, though, guys, is Vinod. So. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't bring that up, okay?
And,
no,
and
it's
one more
actually
note.
it's a good thing that he brought it
If you
up.
get a term sheet from Java, take it. Don't negotiate on the terms.
Wow.
Repeat that,
Please
Mehul, for the
repeat it.
benefit
Yes,
of
we
the.
want you to repeat it.
Yeah, you have a founder on record here saying, just trust the terms that this guy gives you. It's all well.
Mehul, tell me how this enlightenment happened. That is where the key.
Sort of happened in midway, but by that time it was too long. But yeah, you know. So
But
yeah,
good man, great to see you here. We've been trying to get you on freewheeling for almost 10 months at least, right? Since March of last year. But I'm glad it finally happened. So why don't you just give a little bit of info about like what you guys are up to, what's been happening on your end, right? So people understand, what kind of startup you're building. And before you answer that, we have a regular who joins us on freewheeling, Sham. Hey Sham, I see your question. I'll get to your question soon.
I saw the regular for Karthik in the background, Bhargavi's background, the regular one.
Somebody was video bombing. I thought that was the regular.
you guys have name for the kids regular. Okay. Yeah, answering Karthik's question, right? We basically do embedded consumer credit. What that means is anybody can enable credit as a feature for their users in 1 or 2 hours just by integrating our APIs. They don't have to worry about how the credit part works, where the capital comes from, how the risk is solved, or the operations, etc. they can just start giving their users credit as a feature. So let's say if you're a neobank who wants to give your users a credit line on UPI, or a shopping app who wants to enable a EMI option, or let's say a food delivery app who wants to give a pay later feature, you can launch it in like 1 or 2 hours, and it will be white labeled as, let's say, Zomato credit, and that's it. So that's what we do in a nutshell.
So, Mel, sounds simple enough, right? But it's quite complex uh, behind the scenes, right, Mehul? So, tell us how you stumbled upon this and why you decided to do it, even while you were at college. What sort of motivated you to do this?
So, I, like a lot of people, grew up in an unorganized business family, right? Like there are like around 110 million families in India whose income is linked to unorganized businesses. Like they earn between 5 lakh to 25 lakh per annum, and they don't have proper documentation for the income. So if you are one of them, that's like half a billion of the middle class segment. Like 110 million families is around 496 million people. They don't even get a single credit card, didn't get any EMI, they get nothing, right? Now, for those people, it's a really big pain point. And I realized it from like childhood itself, because I was very into business. I was very curious about it as a kid. How do you make money? And so I was aware of the all the process and the things that were stopping it. And eventually, when I was in college, that was the time when it was a post demonetization wave. We were in campus, we stopped using cash. Everybody around was using UPI and cards, and we were like, you know what, anybody can have a look at my bank statement and know that how much does Mehul get in a month, where he spends it, how he spends it, how frugal is he, all those characteristics. And that was a eureka moment, like, okay, now there is enough financial data being generated, A, and B, it is now being accessible. And that was a time when government was opening up stuff like account aggregator and all. So like, this is where the industry is going to go. People are going to solve it, and let's just solve it because we want to really so do it. So honestly, we started off just trying to solve my own family's problem, and the day we are able to do that, we'll be done.
I think that's just amazing, Mehul. I think that's always in I don't know if I can statistically say this, but in many cases, right, it's always a problem that people are solving, startup founders are solving, right? There's always some personal story linked to the problem. Bhargavi would remember this. We looked at a health tech company, where they were building something for cancer patients, right? That was completely inspired by, you know, uh, completely inspired by what they have personally gone through, which is uh, really amazing, right? I mean, you can turn some of these hard lessons into some net positive for you over a period of time. But great, man. This is fantastic. I'll open it up to Bhargavi and Vinod, guys. What would you like to ask Mehul that you don't already know?
um, it's not about putting him in a spot. I don't want to do that. I want to be the good person today. Mehul,
I like the today part in it.
Mehul, how did you find your co-founders, right? And
So, I mean,
I guess to know with your classmates and friends as your co-founders, it's going to have its own plus and minus. So I think if you can share some of that, I know it's still starting of your journey, but I think if you can share, I think that will be interesting to know.
yeah, yeah. So I'll answer into two parts how I found them and the pros and cons. So first of all, I can't emphasize enough on this. The first few set of people you'll be working with, and preferably please get a co-founder, right? It's hard doing it alone, like it's hard enough already with people. I can't imagine without them. So, get somebody, who believes in you and is willing to put their 110% behind the idea you guys come up with, or your idea or whatever, right? Now, I fortunately was, around so I used to attend some talks by VCs and all in my college days, right? Some events organized here and there, and we used to always hear this, right? That the founding team is the most important thing. At the seed stage, people bet on the team rather than the business or the idea, and that really like stuck with me. So when I had this idea, right, I actually took like 6 months in, as like we're going to pursue this idea, but the people whom I'm going to pursue it with, right, I need to figure out who, right? So, and I just started looking around myself, and I knew one of my co-founders instantly that this is one guy I'll be working with, because I already had worked with that guy for around 2 years then, and I knew that we work really, really well together. So I definitely want him. And my other technical co-founders, right? And like, we were always in touch, but I wanted to be very sure about the founding team of Bhartex, right? And so we basically, just made up a very small project, right, with something more than a typical student project, something more commercial, and like, yeah, let's build this and see, how we. And once I realized that these are the people I don't really have to manage, because I'm not a good manager, because I am a like I haven't gone through that 20 years of managing people thing, right? So you ideally want, and in a startup, even if you have that, you still want people who are, self doers, like self starters. So I realized working with them on that small test case that they are the people whom I can rely on. Like, even if someday I fall asleep, they'll still be awake and still get it done, And I was like, these are the people I need. And because skills, I always believed, like, if you're smart enough, like, you will learn it. You don't really need a great coder from day one. So that's how I fundamentally found my co-founders. There was one other person whom we tried to bring in. The person couldn't come at that point of time, but eventually joined us as an employee. So once things are getting off. So I think you just got to look around, be very, very careful. Like, rather be late by half a year, but arrive strongly. That's how I found it. On the pros and cons, um, pros working with people whom you already know, everything is like, it's great. There's no politics from day one. Everybody knows how the other guy thinks. Everybody knows that he's not motivated by that or that, or like, we're clear, that with what are our intentions, what's things. You don't have that in back of the mind, what could that guy be thinking about or something. Like, we can be extremely blunt and know that tomorrow mornings, we're still going to be working with this guy and everything's going to be jolly, right? Because as friends, you would have already gone through those loops, so you know that it's going to be all fine. So you form a very, very strong and well connected team. The downside of it is that you need to so not everybody can be as professional as you can. So dividing professional and personal relationship is something that people need to learn, right? We were very fortunate that at least among the four of us, we, like, till date didn't had like any much problem regarding that, you know but a lot of times, the reason why I don't go out and recruit people from very the innermost of my personal circles is because I am concerned whether or not we'll be able to maintain the uh, sort of professional personal gap, right? So you got to be careful that that person knows that this is a professional talk, this is a personal talk. You got to keep this separate, you know uh, like, we're fortunate in that, but I know firsthand some people who are not. So that's one con you should watch out for.
So, well, man, at such a young age, right, you give a lot of yarn. Huh? Do you agree to that statement or not? No, sometimes I've told this to Karthik and Bhargavi, right? I think at your age, right, at least I honestly would be like figuring out shit, right? So,
No,
frankly,
Vinod, as far as I am concerned, Mehul is the next Kunal Shah, okay,
Uh-huh.
of the fintech world.
Let's be the
As
next Mehul, na?
Yeah, I like that.
Well, you have to look at delta 5, okay, not 4, okay, delta 5.
And although nobody asked me, one key thing: be very very ambitious.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
so it's fine. Decagon is fine. We'll run a $1 trillion company.
Yeah, what decacorn, man? $100 billion. Yeah, Stripe is.
Trillion.
Yeah,
Trillion. 100 is achieved.
yeah,
So
Now you know why we invested in you, right? I think
yeah.
that ambition was something which stuck with us.
Yeah. So, Mehul, this is the last segment for you where you can ask, Karthik a question, who's the lead in this, right?
What is this? Why are you offering me on a platter?
So typically,
If
this is
any,
an entertaining segment for me. You can ask the investor a question about this interaction. This is freewheeling. This is not some interview session or something. So this is a freewheeling session. So as a founder, right, that's what fun is. You can ask us also a question, and specifically Karthik in this case because he's been hand holding and all that stuff for you. Yeah, you can throw a question at Karthik.
rather Mehul is hand holding me.
Uh, Whatever, as long as we are holding hands and getting the unicorn, I'm okay.
okay, so this is the entertainment section, right?
Oh, Karthik, look, he's treating questions to VC as entertainment section. What is no my?
No, you mentioned it so, right?
He said it's
Okay,
entertaining for him
It's only for
I think
me.
time for me to log out.
that you are asking.
Okay. So okay. In that sense,
You can ask a serious question also. Okay.
hmm,
Yeah.
okay. So okay, I think something in the benefit of the viewers, right? Uh, so when you guys offered us a deal, right? We had virtually like zero transaction. Like, so anybody watching this, we are not a live company back then, right? We had a prototype, and we were fundraising, saying, ki, "Hey, to lend, we need money to lend, so give us money," you know. And it was a moratorium period. Like NBFCs were not getting money from banks, fintechs from MDC was a whole different game. So,
Mhm.
but this guy's better knows at that point of time. And a lot of people have this notion, right, that you need to have X years of experience, MBA, 2 years, blah, 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 build something in that industry and then do it, right? But as VCs, you guys bet on, someone who had clearly no experience in that industry. Maybe we had some understanding, but and we didn't have traction. Still, you guys did bet, right? What do you like if you had to like tell like Mehul like 2 years back, right? Like this is what a VC is going to look at you to do your first round, right? What would that be? And what did you look in us?
No, I think Mehul, that's a great question, man. It's it's great. I'll tell you why, right? It's because no two VCs think alike, right? Different people think different ways. Um, I think at least the alignment that we have internally at Java Capital, right, is one we don't necessarily look at pedigree of the people, so we don't care which university you've gone to or which company you've worked for, right? I think what we primarily look for is the potential of the founder, the approach that the founder has taken to the company, and the market, his understanding of the market, right? In your case, I think it's a little bit of both, right? Now we thought that market was very interesting, one, and we also thought that your strength of the founding team, right, is very strong, and your own conviction in the model, right, actually gave us a lot of conviction, Mehul. I think that is something that we miss uh, a lot, when founders pitch to us regularly, right? Either the passion is missing or the conviction is missing. In which case, it's even difficult for us to see that. I think in your case, that stood out. Obviously, you've done a fantastic job of showing us the vision, right? Which we were able to subscribe to, and for us, the understanding of the space, right? With Bhargavi having done quite a bit of research in that space, and her own experience, it also gave us a very interesting perspective on whether or not, as a model, this could work or not, right? So when we saw that all of these pieces of the puzzle are there, it's just a matter of putting these pieces together so the puzzle can be solved. So that's all we did in your case, right? Um, Especially in the pre-seed stage, Mehul, I think the quality of the founders, and when I say quality, right, it's not the IITs that you've gone to or the IIMs that you've gone to, right? Or it's not even the Mishos that you have worked for or the Flipkarts that you have worked for. Rather, the founder's ability to show the vision and prove that he understands the market at a much deeper level, right? So those things, really did it for us when we decided to invest in your company.
Got it. That was a really well thought and great answer. Also, good to know that Bhargavi could have stopped it, but she was the one who told financially it can work. So next time Bhargavi you say anything bad, I'm pointing that out.
Yeah.
I think as I said, right. I think what was important was, though you guys were quite young, the grip that you had on the space, your depth of understanding on the space, I think that was quite good. So you showed your hustle and you showed your smartness, that you can you understand the space. So if you could do it while being in college, then we thought you would be smart enough to figure a lot many more things when you start building this full time.
He did. He did. He did. You remember at the agreement stage, he figured a lot of stuff. I remember.
I think we can do a separate session on only that, right?
Yeah. I would actually love to do that. Like, show it to any founder you are negotiating with, and I owe it to you guys as well. So, happy to
But
do
but
that.
Vinod, Bhargavi, Mehul loved our lawyers so much that he hired them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we work with them full time now.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, guys. I'm just gonna put up the announcement again. Why
Okay.
we've talking to Mehul today. We finally announced our investment in Bharatex recently. So which is why we invited Mehul and he gracefully he agreed to join us today and speak about Bharatex. Mehul, thank you so much, man, for joining us. Anything else that you'd like to say before you uh, log off?
No, I think that's pretty much it. And like Vinod was earlier mentioning, the strike ratio of YC to Java is pretty high. And most of the other portfolio guys, they're also back with like great VCs. So you better apply if you want a great seed round or a series A.
Yeah, and Mel, thanks to you for referring us good companies, man. We've please keep that going, right? Would love to see more of the companies that you're gonna refer, right? Because you already know the filters to apply, and I'm sure we'll get some really interesting companies from your
Let's
side.
start a referral bonus structure and then Karthik.
Definitely spoken like a true entrepreneur, man.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't want to get those New Year goodies and all that, I'm assuming. Fine, that's fine.
No, I was going to say, but Mehul is quite sweet, right? See, he will ask referral bonus and all. But if we say instead of one pack, we will say 2 packs of New Year goodies, he will be so happy.
Awesome, man. Neil, great. Thanks for coming. Good to see you. We look forward to next milestone to be back on the freewheeling show, and I'm hoping that will not be like 1 year, 2 year, and all. You have to run. We have to run the show. It has to be.
Yeah, 1 quarter, Vinod. Just wait for it.
Yeah, please do come back, and
Good.
yeah, I look forward to seeing you again. And and that time also we'll ask you same question. Like you can ask questions to Karthik again. Yeah, see you till that time. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.
Maybe you
Bye.
can write down the questions for him,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it
I will.
meets your entertainment
I'll ask
criteria.
him. Something like Chilapadigaram or something like Mahabharatam recitation from Karthik. Something like that.
Okay. Cool, guys.
Yeah. See you guys. Thanks, man.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye-bye.
All right,
Bye.
man.
Have a
Thank
good
you so
weekend,
much, man.
Mehul.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Sham's question went unanswered. Let me take that up.
I am putting it. I am putting it up.
Okay, Sham,
There
I'm
we
not
go.
sure. You're still here. I'm sure you are around because you wanted to see what Bharatex's founder would have spoken. Um, how do you see the firming up of US rates impacting valuations, both new and follow-on rounds? I'll try my. I think Bhargavi looks more like Geeta Gopinath. I look like. Some other random guy, who really can't answer, macroeconomic questions. I'll try my best, what might happen. Um, Geeta Gopinath went away. What is this? Okay, so I think what's really happening is already visible, is my view, Sham. I think liquidity is getting squeezed already. People are pulling out money. That means markets are falling. Once public market falls, people fear, what's going to happen to my money. So money is going to go back to gold and some safe instruments. And we are sitting on the highest asset risk class, and I don't think so. Liquidity is going to be there because there is no liquidity. Valuations will have to drop because companies have to survive or companies will have to die. So I think I expect more, both may not be new valuations, but I think follow-on rounds to slow down, new rounds to slow down. But I think the impact is going to take time. I think we won't see that in a quarter. Maybe it'll start happening maybe in a couple of quarters, the trickle-down effect to happen. But I think it's going to happen. I think the trickle-down will happen for sure. Now it's very, very clear, at least. Yeah.
I just want to add on to that, Vinod. Net, it could be a positive for the ecosystem anyway, because we'll see, some. I'm sorry, I just noticed our fourth partner again. I just couldn't help myself.
Yeah, we have a regular fourth part.
Yeah. Uh, shoot, I lost the train of my thought.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, no, I think that we'll see. Some people who was I don't know. I don't want to use the word cashing in, but who got attracted to the froth, right? Will eventually end up leaving the market. I think professionals will end up staying in the market, still funding the companies, identifying good companies. People who are attracted to the froth, right, will probably go back to their day jobs. That's one bold prediction from my end. So we'll have to see if that comes true or not.
Karthik, one interesting thing I've noticed happening is the people who come from large corporates into startups world, right? They are the first ones who leave also, when the,
Correct. Yeah, when
yeah,
things don't go right.
I think you're right. You will start seeing that, movement of employees from startups back to large corporates and MNCs to safety. That's like a clear sign, of the turnaround, of the tide, completely going the other way now.
Yeah, but I think there is still a lot of dry powder left, right? So I think the trickle down effect probably will happen for early stage investment maybe in another 2 quarters. But still, because of the dry powder, I think follow on rounds and all that will keep happening for quite some time. Valuations, yes, might come down to reality little bit again.
But Bhargavi, dry powder will be there, but dry powder, you want to put it in the bigger bullets, right? So what they will do is, anyway, they know that, the companies are getting squeezed. So why will you not take a larger chunk of existing companies or, take larger chunk of newer companies? So I think once the signal changes completely, right, I think everybody will squeeze themselves. Like COVID, right? Everybody had dry powder. Nobody deployed for like 2 quarters,
Yes.
right?
2 quarters.
Same thing happens typically, right? When the market reverses about 1.5 to 2 quarters, everybody is like gupchup, very silent, will not do any transactions, and then they come back to the market again, once it's clear. Same thing is
Quite right.
likely will happen.
So, Sham has an optimistic note, right? Hopefully, the imminent budget will bring in new investors, right? Hopefully, Sham, I hope that happens. Uh, on that optimistic note, shall we call it
Yeah,
a
yeah.
day?
I think, yeah. Thanks, Sham. Thanks for joining. Thanks everybody who's asked questions. Thanks Mehul, who joined us earlier. I think we should be back
Next week?
next week.
Yeah,
Look
we'll
forward
see you
to
again next
seeing you
week.
all. Yeah, have a good day, guys.